Hello, I'm David Barlow. I'm a Hawaii injury lawyer, and today we're going to be discussing some of the frequently asked questions if you've been in a car accident. Of course, the first question is, do I need a Hawaii injury lawyer? Obviously, you're on an injury lawyer's website, so I guess you could guess what we will tell you, but it really is the truth. If you have been injured in an accident, you really do need to get an injury lawyer. Injuries are different than property damage claims. Property damage, if all you need is your car fixed, you don't need a lawyer for that. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot that you can argue about with the adjuster as far as how much it costs to fix a car or what your car is worth. Yeah, there might be a little argument there, but not a whole lot, not necessary to get a lawyer involved for a property damage claim to fix your car. However, when it comes to injuries, that's when there is a big difference in what the insurance company thinks your injuries are worth and what they're truly worth. Obviously, that there's not really a scientific way or a mathematical way to calculate exactly the value of somebody's injuries. You could almost say it means something different to every person. Some people have a higher pain tolerance to pain. Other people, injuries really affect their life. So that's why you need a lawyer to be on your side, because the injury laws are very complicated. The insurance companies like them to be complicated. They are the ones with all the lobbyists, and they push through a lot of laws that really help their side. So at the minimum you need is an injury lawyer on your side to help you navigate through all the complicated laws so that you can get a good settlement for your injuries. So that's the first question, do I need a Hawaii injury lawyer? Next is, how do I know which lawyer to hire? Again, you're on our website, so obviously we would just hope you would hire us. But honestly, it is kind of a big decision. You should really put some thought into it. Injury cases can go on for a long time. So you're going to be dealing with that lawyer for maybe 6 months or a year, or maybe even a couple of years. So you want to make sure you hire a lawyer that you feel comfortable with. That first conversation is really important. When you call that lawyer, see how you feel. Do you feel comfortable talking to him or her? Do you feel like you can ask him or her any question that you have? Are they patient? Are they understanding? Or are they just trying to hurry and get you to sign the contract and move on to the next new client? So you really want to take your time on that first free consultation call and see how you feel. There's also a big difference in law firms. There's smaller law firms like ours, or there's huge law firms with 10 or 20, even more lawyers. So you really need to decide what kind of law firm do you want to hire. Those bigger law firms, they tend to have a whole lot of secretaries and paralegals that are really doing a lot of the busy work on the case. And so, honestly, they're going to be the ones that really know what's happening on your case. The lawyers in those bigger law firms, they tend to just get involved when the case is going to court. So if you want a law firm, obviously we are a smaller law firm and we like it that way. We've been in business a long time. We've had opportunities to expand and hire more lawyers, but we like it this way. We like to be the one when you call. I am the one that will know all about your case. I don't need to run to the other room and ask a paralegal, hey, hurry and brief me on this case so the client wants to discuss it. I'm the one that will be working on every aspect of your case. Of course, we do have secretaries or assistants that handle, certain office functions and different things, but the main work on your case will all be done by a lawyer. So that's another big question you should consider. Do I want a small law firm where the lawyer is going to always know what's going on with my case, or a bigger law firm, and maybe they go to court more than the small law firms, but as far as knowing everything on your case, maybe those bigger law firms don't have the advantage with that. Okay, so the next question is, how long do injury cases take? Obviously, this is a big question on everyone's mind. The main factor in how long a case takes is when you finish your treatment. Some people receive treatment for a couple months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. So ideally, you do not want to settle a case while you're still treating. You want this settlement to include all of your treatment, all of your injuries, all of your medical bills. How bad would that be if you're treating, you decide to settle, and then you find out later, oh, you actually need a surgery, and you have a whole lot more medical bills that aren't going to be included in that past settlement. So that's what really takes the time for a case. So mainly you just keep us updated on your medical treatment, and as soon as you tell us that you've completed your treatment, we instantly start ordering your medical records, your medical bills. We get that all put together and we get it sent off to the insurance company. So depending on how quickly your medical providers can get us those documents, it might take them a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Sometimes they're a little slow and we need to keep bothering them. But as soon as we get that all in, then we get it sent to the insurance company. They take about a month to review all the documents. People don't realize how many papers are involved with their medical records. It really is a lot. Most cases, it's at least 500 pages, but we have some that's 1,000, 2,000 pages. People just don't realize the amount of work that goes into going through medical records, reviewing them. And insurance companies, most of them are very thorough. They are going to read every single page of your medical records. So that's why they do need at least a month to review everything and make a settlement offer. And then that becomes the negotiation phase. That can also take some time depending on how patient you want to be. If you're in a hurry and you want to hurry and get it settled, no problem. If that's what you want to do, we will, oblige. But we do usually recommend that people negotiate at least for a month, 2, 3 months to try to get the adjuster up to their final offer. Once they make their final offer, that's the big decision of the case. The biggest decision is whether you accept it or decline it and take them to court. So, obviously there's not an exact answer on how long a case takes, but that gives you an idea of what the process is. All right, next question. How much will I get for my car accident injuries? Again, this is totally dependent, mostly on your injuries and your treatment. That's the main thing insurance companies are looking at, is what were your actual injuries? Yes, they look at the damage to the car. If there was very little damage, they have a hard time believing that someone was seriously injured in the accident. And the opposite is true. If there was a lot of damage, then they understand, oh wow, it's likely that the person was seriously injured. So they look at the damage to the car, but primarily when they're evaluating the value of the claim and how much they are willing to settle the claim for, they're going to be looking at the injuries. How serious were the injuries? How quickly did they heal? So obviously the more serious, we're talking fractures, torn ligaments, surgeries. Those are going to be your cases that are valued a lot higher than your minor injuries, your whiplash, your muscle strains that heal in a couple of months. Okay, so that's the main thing they're looking at. A big factor is the insurance company. Some insurance companies are very reasonable. They want to get cases settled. They kind of try to do the right thing, I guess. But other insurance companies, they are not reasonable at all. They try to offer you a very small amount to, see if you'll just accept it. They are usually the bigger companies that have millions of claims each year that really have it down to a science on how much they think a claim is worth, how much they think a jury would offer, how much it would cost to hire their lawyer to defend the case. They take all that into account, and then they just offer you a small amount to see if they can get it settled. So the insurance company depends a lot. Obviously, you are entitled to wage loss as well. So if you were out of work for a long time and were able to substantiate that wage loss, sometimes it's hard to prove it if it's not a clear-cut case where the client was working, had a paycheck, and then couldn't work for a certain period of time. They have the paycheck showing they worked 0 hours because they were injured, and then they start working again as soon as they're better. It works really well if you have that documentation. If it's one of those situations where you were looking for a job, hoping to start working, or you were self-employed, but you don't really keep good records, those are more difficult, right? Insurance companies are about as cynical as any company in the world. They always want to see documentation of everything. So, but you should be entitled to wage loss as well. All right, what types of injuries does this law firm handle? If you look through our website, it's pretty clear we do any sort of auto accident injuries. That's pedestrian injuries, bicycle, moped, motorcycle, obviously car, truck, any type of car accident injuries, okay? We do some slip and falls, but mostly just at stores, all right? We do not do slip and fall injuries at hotels. We don't do animal bites, dog bites. We don't do medical malpractice. We don't do assaults, okay? So over the years, we've just really narrowed down the type of cases that we handle that ends up being the best thing for our clients for the cases we do accept. And I know there are lawyers out there that handle all those other types of cases. So you just do a Google search for those type of lawyers and find a lawyer that's going to specialize in what you need, okay? All right. Next question, if I call for free consultation, will I be pressured to hire your law firm? I don't know if other law firms out there pressure people. I assume some kind of do. I don't know for sure. But we absolutely do not. We see no reason for it. Why are we going to pressure somebody into signing a contract with us if it's not something they absolutely want to do? So we don't put any pressure. You believe me, when you call for a free consultation, we will be there to answer any question you have. We'll discuss anything you need to discuss about your case. And then if you want to hire us, no problem. We're here to help. In fact, we email you our contract, all right? A lot of people probably worry about sitting down with a lawyer. They put that contract in front of them and, don't worry about reading it. Just, hurry and sign it. We're busy. Let's go. So not us. We actually email you the contract, look it over, take your time, call back, email back any questions you have about it. We really try to keep our contract very simple. It's less than 1 page. We keep it as simple as possible because we understand people are confused, people are worried, people are stressed when they're in a car accident. The last thing they need to do is worry about, do I need to hire a lawyer to help me understand this contract for my injury lawyer, right? So we try to make it as simple as possible. So again, no pressure. Feel free to call us. If you want to hire us, great. If not, we understand. It's no problem. Okay, do I need to hire your law firm even though I already have a family lawyer who handled another matter such as a will or adoption? Again, Hawaii auto accident law is very complicated. Okay, me personally, I wouldn't think about handling some other area of law besides auto accident injuries. I've been doing this for almost 15 years. This is what I specialize in. This is what I know. And I'm not ashamed to say when clients, oh, can you do my will for me too? There's no shame in me telling them, sorry, I just do auto accidents. There are a lot of lawyers out there that do wills, that do adoptions, that do divorces. There's plenty out there. So That's just kind of the way the world is now, right? Everything is getting so complicated, whether it's fixing your car, fixing an appliance, whatever it is, the world's getting complicated. You need people that specialize in that very focused area of law. Okay. Will my case be handled by a lawyer or a paralegal? I think I discussed that a little bit already. For our law firm, it's just me. Okay. If you want a lawyer that you're going to email or call him and he's going to be the one that knows all about your case, this is the law firm for you. All right. If you like knowing that there's kind of a whole team of people working on your case, that's fine. There's many law firms out there like that. We got the legal secretary doing certain things, the paralegal doing other things. Then you get the lawyer involved sometimes. That's fine. There are law firms out there like that. We've decided a long time ago that was not the way that we wanted to run this law firm. We like the hands-on approach. We feel that it's actually even a lot more efficient for the lawyer to handle all aspects of the case. We found that if you have a paralegal, you spend time just telling the paralegal certain things to do on the case when you probably could have just taken care of it on your own. So that's how we like to run our law firm, and hopefully you think that's the type of law firm you're looking for. I know that most of our clients appreciate that the lawyer is the one that knows every aspect of the case. From, did you get those medical records in yet? Did you talk to the adjuster about this yet? We handle every aspect of the case. Okay, next question. Will I have to go to court? That's obviously a big concern a lot of people have. They've been in an accident. They know they deserve compensation, but they're worried, if I hire a lawyer, I'm going to find myself in court in 6 months. And that's not what I want to do, right? That's kind of a pretty scary thing. Is sitting in front of 12 jury members and asking them to award you money, right? That's a pretty scary situation, pretty stressful thing, time consuming, all of that. So most of our cases we are able to settle without having to go to court. In general, this business of auto accidents has been around for a long time. Insurance companies kind of have the system down. They know pretty much what they have to offer in order to get cases settled. We have things down as far as negotiating the insurance company up to their top amount so that we can get it settled. So most of our cases do not end up in court. We are able to settle almost all of our cases. Obviously, we are a law firm, and if we do need to go to court, we will. But that's rare. It's pretty rare that an adjuster would be so unreasonable that we'd actually have to take them to court. So what makes your law firm different than the others? Again, I've been talking a lot about this, but our customer service is really what we feel makes us different. I have worked for other law firms where, there would be 20 voicemails at the end of the day. The attorney really didn't know what was going on in all the cases and just kind of ignored them and hoped that they would forget about their question, right? But that's not how we like to do things. We will answer every voicemail and every email before we go home. All right, that's almost every single day of the year. Well, obviously not, weekends or holidays, and we do take a vacation once in a while. But you will know if we're on vacation, the email or the voicemail will say, out of the office, I'll be back on this day, and that's the day that I will answer your email or text or your voicemail. All right, we don't do texts. Texts are way too complicated or way too difficult to keep track of. So just emails or phone calls, that's what we prefer. Next question, how do I pay for your services? That's also a concern a lot of people have. They know that lawyers, they charge a percentage, but they're not sure. Is that really true? Yes, that is absolutely true. We do not send bills to clients, okay? We get paid a percentage of the settlement amount. It's called a contingency fee because us getting paid is contingent on us getting you a settlement for your injuries, okay? And it's a wonderful system because you know that, oh, my lawyer is getting a percentage of this settlement. So obviously, this lawyer, he's got employees, he's got expenses, he needs to make a salary and income. He's going to do everything he can to get me as much as possible. Okay, some clients kind of forget that along the way when insurance companies are not being reasonable and they kind of want to blame the lawyer. It's like, did you forget that we're not getting paid until we get this settled? We have a pretty good motivation to get as much as we can and as soon as we can. All right, what is the statute of limitations in Hawaii? We have a website to address that specifically, but the short answer is it's 2 years from the date of the accident, or that 2-year deadline actually extends to be 2 years from the date of the last no-fault insurance payment. All right, check out some of the other pages because we'll go in a lot more in depth about both of those things, the no-fault insurance and the statute of limitations. Another one, can I trust insurance companies? We have a whole page just about that. Short answer is kind of not, kind of no. Insurance companies, they have really nice people that work for them. They are very sweet and nice until they start making settlement offers, and then it's not so nice. I mean, they're so nice about it, but what they're doing is not nice. So you really do need to be very skeptical about insurance companies. They are a business, okay? Just because the law requires that we have car insurance doesn't mean that insurance companies are going to be fair, all right? It's a business. They have a lot of ads to pay for on TV, right? Most of the ads you see on TV are insurance companies, and they're really silly, and you're thinking, wow, they paid how much money for that silly little ad? But you know, that's what the business is. They try to pay out the least amount possible. Okay. Next question: how can I get the maximum settlement that I deserve? Again, there's a link to the website that discusses that. Short answer: get as much treatment as you can. All right. Listen to your lawyer. Just get a lot of treatment, have your lawyer negotiate as high as possible. But that webpage will talk a lot more about that question. But how can I know if I should accept a settlement offer or not? Again, there's a whole page about that. I'm trying to think what the short answer would be, but you really just, you first let your lawyer negotiate the amount up as high as possible until the insurance company says that's it, final offer. And then you really got to take into account the alternative, right? There's really only two choices: accept the offer or go to court. All right. And so when you're considering those choices, you really have to think, okay, this offer is not good, I don't like it, it's not as much as I want, but what's the alternative? A court, right? And that's where people don't really understand what they're dealing with. Court is expensive, it's stressful, it's time consuming, it's not fun at all. So when you balance those out, that kind of helps you decide whether to accept a settlement offer or not. All right, why can't I find a lawyer to take my case? There's a whole page just about that. What is the short answer? The short answer is that you probably don't have a very good case. And I hate to break it to you if you're in that situation. But lawyers, one of the main qualifications of a job as an injury lawyer is to know what cases to take and what cases not to take. So basically, all these injury lawyers, there's a lot in Hawaii, right? There's a lot. They all offer free consultations. So my recommendation when someone says, oh, I'm having a hard time finding a lawyer, if it's a case that we are not able to take for one reason or another, and they say, well, but I can't find a lawyer, what should I do? I recommend call at least 5 lawyers, get the free consultation. If all 5 of them don't want to take the case, then you need to I guess, how do I say this nicely, but it's time to take a hint. That's probably not a good case, all right? If you want to call 10, great, call 10. But after 10, if you've called 10 lawyers, all right, all lawyers got bills to pay, got employees to pay. They're looking for good cases, right? They're looking for cases, any case that they can make money on, they're going to take, right? So if you call 5 or 10 lawyers and they all no, they'll say no, or even if they tell you excuses, right? They say, oh, I'm just too busy. It's a great case, but I'm too busy. That might be true in a couple case situations, but in general, whatever the lawyers tell you, right? Most lawyers are going to make time for a good case, right? So if you call 10 lawyers, they all say no, sorry, good luck. It's time to take a hint at your case. Maybe your injuries aren't bad enough to make it worthwhile for yourself and the lawyer to pursue it. Maybe the liability of the case is not clear enough. If it's kind of a toss-up, those are tough, right? Cases are hard enough when it's a clear liability, right? When there's no doubt whose fault it was. A rear-end accident, it's usually no doubt. Okay, the cases are hard enough when you just have to argue about the value of the injuries. All right, if you have to do both, argue about the value of the injuries and argue about whose fault it was, that's kind of like, it gets into a case a lawyer doesn't want to take, and that a lawyer shouldn't drag a client through either. We feel an obligation to the client too. If we're going to take their case, that's us letting them know, hey, this is worth your time and effort as well. Okay? Anyway, so I guess that ended up being a longer answer. But either way, go to that page and, read more about that if you're in that situation, having a hard time finding a lawyer to take your case. Okay? So that wraps up the frequently asked questions on our website. Obviously, you should browse around through all of our other pages. You will find answers to many, many more of your questions. And as always, our number is there. If you want to talk to us, give us a call. We are here to discuss any questions you have. And hopefully we'll be able to help you to get fair compensation for your injuries. Okay? Thank you.